In this episode of Puzzle Time, we show you this crazy box. It's called Gearbox. It's from Jean-Claude Constantine, and it is insanely hard. It's a level 10 on the Puzzle Master difficulty rating scale. You can also find out more about our Boxing Week sale that ends tomorrow, December 31st, here in 2021, and our Kickstarter that's also ending December 31st, 2021. Lots of stuff, last-minute things. Get in today. Find out more about this puzzle in today's episode. Welcome to Puzzle Time, episode 107. Today we have two puzzles, Linnea, from Jean-Claude Constantine. This is a brand new shipment of stuff we got in here at Puzzle Master, and these are two of the ones we thought were most exciting from that shipment. What do you want to start, Linnea? Easy or hard?
I think we should start with hard.
I'll start with hard?
And go to the easier one.
Okay,
then if we solve it in the end, we feel like we had success at the end of the video.
And there's no way we're solving this one here. So this is called Gearbox from Jean-Claude Constantine. This is a level 10 on the Puzzle Master difficulty rating scale. And again, for those of you not familiar, our difficulty rating scale runs from 5 to 10. 5 being the easiest, 10 being the hardest. So this is the hardest level of puzzle that we have at Puzzle Master.
This one just seems crazy, like with so many gears.
It does. There's a lot of stuff here. You get a lot of puzzle here for what. And Jean-Claude makes some great puzzles. I mean, if you haven't tried a Jean-Claude Constantine puzzle before, you need to. I don't know if I'd recommend starting with this one, but you know.
Yeah. This lifts off, so you can solve it. This only stays on so that nothing moves around while you're not playing.
This is just a placeholder. I think it's really cool. Like there's so much in this. Like there's these.
So it just adds such a nice look to the box with this on there too. Like
it does, and it lets you know. I think it actually is. I think the thing that it does most is it lets you know what the starting position is, right? Yeah. Because what ends up happening is there's pins on here that go into these holes on the gears, and then not only that, but then this plastic slider piece that moves side to side here lines up with the holes here. So it all has to be in the exact right starting position to fall into place on here. And like it actually is a little bit frustrating getting it in because. Yeah, there we go. So, but that is how you tell this puzzle is back at the start. Because without that, Linnea, think about it. How would you tell when the puzzle's back at the start? Like it'd actually be really hard to know.
I think all these sliders have to be sitting straight in the middle, right?
Yes,
if they're off to the side, because once you turn these gears, now I can't put this back.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the middle,
but I'm just saying, this is what tells you where the puzzle starts.
I guess, yeah, because you can.
Otherwise, you just wouldn't know what it is. So, and then I think what you're going to end up with when you, and I don't know how you tell on the gears what the solve is, but there's pins here. See, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 pins on the side. I think those are actually what's holding this lid on. And so what you'll end up doing when you solve it is this whole lid will move down and then up, right? Because then those pins move into the holes here. Let's see if we can see it here.
I wonder if once you open it, there's another little puzzle inside, or if it's a full box.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what's inside, if it's just a full box when you open it. Because when you look through, actually, the C and the O from the close and open that's just the top of the box.
Yeah, so it must just be a smaller center.
I don't know if it's like in here, or maybe there is another puzzle inside of this. I actually have no idea.
Maybe it is the full box, and this just has lip over the end to show you the close and open. So there's just a lip here, and you can go underneath. I don't know.
Now, Linnea, we were talking about another thing. Now, this is a nary puzzle, and nary means that like you're going to be doing repeated movements that expand the more of something you add to it, right? So this is quadrinary, did you say?
Quadrinary, yeah.
Why is it quad?
There's 4 rows.
4 rows, okay.
So 4 sliders. The sliders mean how many? So we have some other ones by him that there's like the anary, the five-nary, binary.
Anary would be 1.
Binary is 2.
Trinary?
Yeah, I think probably trinary is 3.
Quadrinary, and then what was that, 5?
I don't know if it's quinary or...
Quinary? I don't know. But it essentially just means how many of these is. And each one of these that you have exponentially increases the difficulty, right?
Yeah.
So if you have 5, it's like not just 5 times more difficult. I forget how that works, but it's a lot more difficult. So let's show the movement.
I got a little bit. Yeah, I was kind of playing around with it while you were talking.
Yeah.
And that's as far as I could get. Once you get there, you had to move some of these other ones.
You're moving up to like probably to the second row.
Yeah.
So then what's going to end up happening is you're doing a movement here, and you're doing a movement here, and you're doing a movement here, and then you're moving up, and you're essentially probably going to repeat that movement to do the first gear here, and then repeat that movement to do the second gear here. So, but there's a lot of different stuff here that I noticed also. So these gears don't actually interact outside of the rows. There's 1, 2, 3 rows, and they don't interact. The teeth don't in these middle parts here.
Yeah.
So it only interacts going up or down, right? And then, so these black pieces here are pins that run through a maze on top of each gear. And then those pins also interact with the slider here, this clear acrylic slider, right? And those pins move side to side with that plastic slider. And so then moving that allows you to move the pins through it's really interesting how everything interacts in this puzzle. I think that's the part I enjoy the most, is just how each thing is interacting, because every movement you do moves like that, which allows you to do another movement, which allows you to do another movement.
No, I think you're always moving it the same direction. Because as you move it, you're just moving the pins around him. Because once you go back, it does start locking it this way. I think it shows you that's where the beginning. And
that's the thing I like, is I can always know where the starting is, because I know where these holes are supposed to line up. Which is like, okay, so I know I'm at the start now. Now I wish there was a move mount, like a number.
See, now you have to start moving this again.
You're right.
To get back to this place.
And so you'll probably move up through here. I wonder what the direction is you're moving, though. That's the thing, right? Like, my thought was I was going to be moving this way, but obviously I'm moving all this up. And then I wonder if I jump across here.
Yeah, it must be like
I don't know. Because it's going to take a lot, like, to get through it.
Yeah, you have to just keep going back and forth with this.
Yeah. So I'm going to guess you're moving this way. And then once you get to this fourth one, I wonder if you come back down here and then start working through this one and move your way up and come back down here and then move your way up.
Yeah, you have to always keep going back and forth. So once you get to the top one, you have to go through all this set again, then this set again, then this set again.
Man, this puzzle is going to be really hard. I honestly wonder what the moves are on this puzzle, because this looks really hard. Okay, well, there it is. The what's this called again?
This is called the gearbox.
Gearbox. Okay, put that one aside, and let's move on to. I really like that puzzle. Sometimes these 10 seem unattainable. This one seems attainable, but like it would take a long time to figure out. So
yeah.
Put yours right there, then we can still. Yeah, let's keep it on camera there. Okay, this is the next one. Now, this is called Beerbox. B-I-E-R box.
So this is the one that excited me the most, and I could see myself solving.
Yeah. And so you did solve it.
I did solve it, yeah.
So it's a level 7. Again, it's by Jean-Claude Constantine. And it's beer because it's like the German spelling of beer, right?
Yeah.
B-I-E-R.
You can see the craft brews all along the side.
Yeah. So it's supposed to look like a case of beer, right?
This one would be a fun one if you were at a bar and you're saying, if you guys can break into this beer box, there's some money inside to buy your next drink.
Oh, yeah. That'd be kind of fun.
So
that is the inside of the box. So you can see like these beers, like you can see that they're, you can see through the box. So that is the inside of the box in there. Okay, so what you got to do now? Let's talk about some of what we notice on here. So this obviously in the top of the box, you got to fit these pieces in, but there's magnets in these. So now that each of these little holes that you'll see on the pieces that's a magnet right there. So the magnets, as you move this around, you can feel that it lines up in certain spots too.
We will do a solution to this one, so we will tell you before we show you the solution to turn it off.
Linnea, like I said, Linnea did figure out this puzzle. We have the solution. We will show it to you. We'll warn you before we do it, though. Now, what else do you notice on this? I think when I first did this, I was trying to figure out how it opens. Because I'm like, well, it's like screwed in the top, but it does open.
Well, you can feel it right here.
You can feel it, but it took me a little while to figure that out, because Yeah, I don't know.
You just really have to play around and see what you feel.
It does
on the
open
box.
here, and it's fairly loose, so it's not super tight. But you can hear there's a lot of like pins moving around in this puzzle. A lot of pins, and so yeah, there's quite a bit going on.
So at first, when you're trying this, like what I first tried out with, do you just try to fit the pieces in, or do you try to match the magnets and then figure out where the pieces go from there, where the magnets set?
You can kind of feel the magnets will put it into a spot, and you can be like, okay, I can see this one maybe goes a certain distance from the
Then you
edge.
can see this one fits there, and that one clicked in there too.
How many magnets do you think there are? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's 4.
I can tell you after if you want.
I think there's like 4 of them. Okay. Okay, Linnea, should we show the solution? Okay.
Yeah.
If you guys don't want to see the solution, tune away now. We're gonna show you the solution to the beer box because I like this one. I thought it's not super hard, but I thought it was pretty straightforward. But I really like this. I like the idea of like trying to figure out where stuff goes. But okay, let's do it up. Okay, which way does the lid go here? The lid goes down, so the lid's coming out. We're putting the, let's see here, there. I like that you can feel, the magnets really line up. The pieces slap in place.
And so this piece, I'm going to tell you now, so there's 5 magnets. These are all in place now. This piece does not matter which way the magnet goes.
Oh, the long one is the one.
The long piece is the one that does not have anything attached to it.
So essentially there's 5 magnets in this puzzle, right?
So when you get to the end, it can drop out, and you can, because it's hard to get the pieces out when they're all stuck to the magnet.
Right.
You really have to pick in there with your nail then, right? So this one will drop out and allow you to take all the pieces out.
So this one doesn't line up to any magnet though?
No.
Okay. So that is a not needed piece, that long one.
So this is the pattern here. There's 4 pins here, and then there's 1 bigger pin up here.
Yeah, and when we opened this before, we were trying to figure out what all was happening because Linnea looked inside, and you'll notice that there's 2 pins here on the bottom. You can see them; they flip up like that, and that's what interacts with the bottom of the box here. So those 2 pins go in there, and what those 2 do is they stop you from flipping the puzzle over and just pulling it all out. Because if you didn't have those, all the pins in the top of the box would flip up, and you'd be able to open this box just by flipping the puzzle over. So that's your safety. But now you'll see as we pull pins out, so I can show this on camera. All right, let's get that first piece out, and then I'm going to pull this pin. So this piece. So this U piece connected to that pin right there, which drops into that hole. And this piece kind of comes out. Now, could you flip this over and change the solution?
No, you can't, because that's why this pin is in place here. It stops you from because you have to have this pin on this side, right?
So you have to just make sure that's how you make sure.
If you have it's on this side,
in the right way.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay.
The pin would drop and it wouldn't lock into place.
So then you'll see as we pull out the other pieces, the pins will drop down. They're more like the where's the sample of that piece? I don't know. It's that little spiral. Like it's got a screw. It's like threaded for a screw. But those are what, when you put those in, you put the pieces in. We're going to show this here. This will go here. It like pulls. You can see the magnet lifts that pin up. Again, here it is with that U piece right there. Lifts it up out of that, and then allows you to pull the drawer out. So I like this puzzle. I thought this was really well designed. It was quite smooth and unique. So I wonder how many different orientations there are.
I tried at least 3 or 4.
That like fit, the puzzle pieces fit in, but you couldn't get the,
yeah, I've got it. So you could fit at least, I think it was like 3 different positions you could put them in so that they don't. But there's probably more. That's what I got from it that I remember.
Yeah, because I mean, I wonder too if you like, as you're doing this, you're like, oh, maybe some of the pieces like flip over the other way, right? Because does the magnet interact that way too?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't? Okay.
So you could actually essentially put them in this way, and just to confuse people if you were trying to challenge them.
Yeah.
Then they wouldn't really know.
It's interesting. I do wonder how many different solution variations are. See, like that's the thing when you start doing this, you're like, oh man, I know some of these are wrong because certain pieces. Yeah. Cool. I like that. Beer box. Yeah, that's a good one. It's really well thought out, and just the mechanism works really well in it. I like that. So cool. Okay, let's move into the online buzz.
The online buzz.
Okay, Linnea, you want to talk about Cal Snake?
Yeah, so we have some very Instagram heavy online buzz here for you, and
Mm-hmm.
I was searching today. So Cal Snake, that one is, we carry their tea boxes.
Yeah, Cal Snake does the tea boxes, and there's some cigar boxes that we've had. I don't know if we have those cigar boxes in hand here, but essentially it's just like a box from, like, a literal box from tea, and where I think he's emptied the tea out and then made a puzzle of it.
Yeah, it's those wooden tea boxes.
Yeah.
But he does amazing other puzzles as well.
Mm-hmm.
This one, the one that stood out to me the most is the Hookie puzzle. So it has gears and, like, kind of different pieces like this, tangram sort of pieces on the outside of the puzzle box. And once you figure out the puzzle within those pieces and you solve the outside, the panels come off and there's more puzzles behind the panels on the outside of the box.
Yeah. Yeah, Cal Snake's one of, like, the original puzzle guys. He's been around for quite a while, and he's one of the ones that's, like, really into the puzzle world. You know, I'm sure he probably goes to IPP and some of those events. So
yeah, he does some they're very well quality made puzzles. Like, they are beautiful, and
some really good stuff. So we haven't always got his, like, really high end stuff, but the again, like I said, the tea boxes and the cigar boxes, we've had him in here before. So really good stuff. We also had another what is this, like a puzzle maker, Shok.cz. So that's SHOK. So it's a Czech Republic company guy. I think it's just a guy who makes puzzles, but he originally was a knife maker. So I was looking on there. He had a lot of knives he makes, really good looking knives. Obviously works in metal and a bit in wood and some different mediums like that. But his puzzle side was all just 100% metal puzzles, and it was all recycled stuff. So I thought they were looking really, really sweet. He obviously takes apart like car engines and stuff. There was like pistons and different stuff like that he puts together into a puzzle. Now, I couldn't find any videos on his stuff. I wanted to see a bit more of how the puzzles work, because for the most part, just on Instagram, it was all just mostly pictures and things.
Yeah, so they're mostly cage puzzles too, like those ones where you have to get the thing out of the cage. I don't know
mostly, but there was definitely some of the, like, designs, like, similar to stuff we've seen before. Some of the, like, hedgehog and cage stuff, and a few of those. So there were some designs that looked familiar, but there was some stuff that looked completely foreign that I'd never seen before. So go check out Shok.cz puzzles on Instagram, and there's some really, really cool. I think they were, like, really heavy too. He talked about, like, shipping costs getting expensive because the puzzles were so heavy, and so, like, they were all metal and, like, engine parts and different really high quality recycled parts, which I like the recycled idea. I thought that was really cool, and it gives you some uniqueness to what the puzzle looks like too, because it's, like, previously made. This guy's not really forming a lot of stuff. He's just kind of cutting up recycled pieces for his puzzles. He had a difficulty rating scale from 1 to 5, and I think a few of them were level 4, so I don't know what that all means, but yeah, Shok.cz puzzles. And then last, what is the last one that we got?
It's, I don't know how to say this. Strangiato?
Strangiato puzzles. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but Strangiato puzzles.
And the guy's name who makes these puzzles is Pat Golini.
Mm-hmm.
They're wooden burr puzzles. So they're very much like Pelican too, where they have, like, locks and different burrs that you have to solve and everything.
Was this an Instagram one, or where did you find this?
Yeah, this is an Instagram one as well, yeah.
So you can find Strangiato puzzles. Was it all wood?
Yeah, they're all wood puzzles. Okay. Yeah, all wood burr puzzles. So
awesome. And then was there videos, or was it all exclusively pictures?
It was all pictures. He had a little bit more information on his, so you could tell a little bit more about each puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
He talks a little bit about them and how many moves there is to solve and different things like that. So.
Sweet. Well, go check out Strangiato Puzzles on Instagram. Thank you guys for watching. This is the end of our episode. And now I do want to tell you, actually, this is the last, I think tomorrow? As of tomorrow. So not when they were shooting this, but as of tomorrow. Once this puzzle releases, or this video releases, is the last. We have one more day in our Kickstarter left. So make sure you go to our Kickstarter page, to find the 3 puzzles we're kickstarting: the Skull, Quinta's Extreme, and Total Eclipse. And so the Kickstarter will end at 12 o'clock noon, I think Central Standard Time, on December 31st. So if you're interested in getting involved in a Kickstarter, this is the absolute last day to do it. It's been wildly popular. And make sure you go to Kickstarter and find that to get these puzzles. And we have a lot of extras you can add on and fun stuff like that. You can also find out more information about us on where, Linnea?
On TikTok, Instagram, on our shorts here on YouTube, on our Puzzle Master website. You can get subscribed to our newsletter.
Yep.
Or
and
you
on
come
Facebook.
out with weekly information. Facebook too.
Yeah. Also, we have our Facebook Live where you can get some just all completely up-to-date information. We're on our live. We just show you puzzles that probably have just recently gotten shipped in and just show you a really quick thing about them. Often we don't even know the names or levels. So go to our Facebook Live, check it out there. Linnea does a lot of you do a lot of paper puzzles too, and like 3D stuff on the Facebook. So it's a really cool place to go and find more stuff out about Puzzle Master and just some of the more interesting stuff that's maybe not quite so physical like this, but you can get digital versions of puzzles there. So.
Tomorrow's also the last day for 20% off site-wide.
Yes, that is. That's the end of our Boxing Week sale. So get your Boxing Week stuff 20% off site-wide. There'll be a code we'll have for you to use, and
you can find the code on here, probably on Facebook.
We'll have it right down here.
Everywhere. You can do any of our social media, you probably can find the code.
Absolutely. So get in on that. Get in on the Kickstarter. This is end of the year stuff. We're blowing out a whole bunch of puzzles, man. If you had some stuff that was really expensive, you're I don't know if I can get that. 20% off goes a long way to helping make puzzles a lot more affordable. So 20% off site-wide. Get that before tomorrow. The sale will be done. So yeah. Thanks guys for watching. That's the end of our episode. And we'll see you again next week in episode 108.